You ready, Gerald? Good afternoon. We'll call to order the City of Desert Hot Springs regular meeting of the City Council. The City Council serving as the successor agency to the former Redevelopment Agency Board for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. This is our 5 p.m. closed session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pitts.
Present.
Councilmember Pai.
Here.
Councilmember Voss.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner.
Present.
And Mayor Mattis.
Present. I see nobody in the audience. Do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Thank you. Before we move to closed session, the city attorney will announce closed
Thank you,
session.
Mr. Mayor. We have 2 items on for closed session. Number 1 is conference with legal counsel, potential litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9D2 and E3, which claims available for public inspection. Number 2 is conference with legal counsel, anticipated initiation of litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, one matter.
And with that said, we'll recess to closed session. All right, good evening, everybody. The place is packed and we're going to get started. As the mayor of Desert Hot Springs, we have the opportunity to present proclamations on certain opportunities in the city of Desert Hot Springs. And this week is the second week of October is Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. So everybody that works for Code Enforcement, would you please come up? Sorry, you got the shirts on, you got to do it. Even the administrative staff, anybody that's here that wants to come up, they thought they were going to get out of it. That's not going to happen. You guys stand in the back. You're all the pretty people. Tyler's going to stand up with me. Not that you're not a pretty person, but you'll stand next to me. I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas the state of California has proclaimed the second week of October as Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. And whereas code enforcement officers provide for the safety, health, and welfare of citizens and communities throughout the state of California, through the enforcement of local, state, and federal laws and ordinances dealing with various issues of building, zoning, housing, animal control, environmental, health, and life safety. And whereas code enforcement officers have challenging and demanding roles and often do not receive recognition for the job that they do in improving quality of life for residents and businesses of the local communities. And whereas the role of many code enforcement officers has expanded to recent years, with the jurisdictions increasingly relying on the expertise and training of code enforcement officers in their communities, and whereas code enforcement officers are dedicated, highly qualified, and highly trained professionals who share the goals of preventing neighborhood deterioration, enhancing communities, ensuring safety, and preserving property values through knowledge, training, and the application of housing, zoning, and nuisance laws. And whereas the City of Desert Hot Springs recognizes and honors the code enforcement officers that serve our community and acknowledge their role in leading the way to improve quality of life within our community. Now therefore, I, Scott Mattis, Mayor of the City of Desert Hot Springs, by the power vested in me, do hereby recognize Code Enforcement Appreciation Week and encourage all citizens of the City of Desert Hot Springs to recognize and express our appreciation for the dedication and service of individuals who serve as our code enforcement officers. Thank you. You guys can clap now. We're going to take a picture of that in the back in a second. Tyler's got a few words. Tyler's our code compliance supervisor, and I just want to say a couple of words. You know, we read these proclamations, and sometimes they're kind of a template to what's happening nationwide, but when it comes to these opportunities to thank our staff, these are the hard-working individuals behind me that go out each and every day, and one of those whereases in there talks about them not being appreciated because no one likes when a code enforcement driver drives up to their house with a ticket book, something, but they do a lot more than just that. When I started on the city council almost 18 years ago, I believe we had one code enforcement officer in this city. And there's not room for one code enforcement officer. There's room for a lot of code enforcement officers because of what they have to deal with each and every day. So on behalf of me and our city council and our city staff, thank you for what you're all doing for us. Thank you. Speech first.
Okay.
And then we'll take pictures.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, council members, colleagues, and community members. It's my privilege to stand before you this evening as we recognize Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. This recognition is a moment to reflect on and celebrate the people who quietly protect the health, safety, and quality of life in our community every single day. Code enforcement, in many ways, is the backbone of a thriving city. Our officers are often the ones who ensure the neighborhoods remain safe, properties are maintained, and that our shared spaces reflect the pride we all feel in Desert Hot Springs. Their work helps preserve property values, protects public health, and supports a sense of order and fairness to every resident. Code enforcement is often described as a thankless job. The calls they respond to are not easy ones. They often address abandoned vehicles, unsafe living conditions, illegal dumping, substandard housing, and a wide range of violations that can affect entire neighborhoods. These are not glamorous assignments. They require courage, diplomacy, and a deep commitment to service above self. What makes our code enforcement officers truly remarkable is the way that they approach these challenges. They are not just enforcers of rules. They are educators, problem solvers, and community builders. They take time to explain, to listen, and to work with residents towards solutions. They embody patience and persistence, often working case by case to improve not only a property, but the well-being of families and neighbors who live nearby. When our neighborhoods are clean, when unsafe structures are repaired, when blight is addressed, it may look as though it just happened, but behind every improvement is the effort of a code enforcement officer who spent hours investigating, documenting, communicating, and following through until the problem was resolved. I want to recognize the personal qualities it takes to do this job well. It takes professionalism when emotions are high. It takes empathy to understand the challenges that some of our residents are facing. It takes resilience to keep showing up day after day, knowing that progress is often slow and rarely celebrated. It takes a deep commitment to community to keep doing this work with integrity and dedication. To our code enforcement officers, thank you for the long hours you put in, the difficult conversations that you navigate, and the countless ways you strengthen the city. You are advocates for safety, guardians of our neighborhoods, and partners in building a healthier, stronger, and more beautiful Desert Hot Springs. Your work matters. It matters to this council, it matters to city leadership, but most importantly, it matters to our residents. So tonight, as we honor Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week, let us say it clearly. Your efforts are not unnoticed, they are valued, they are respected, and above all, they are appreciated by a community that is better, safer, and stronger because of you.
And I wanted to add two more points because we have quite a bit of time here. We don't have other presentations, but I wanted to add two more things. There was something I saw today that I was going to say during my little spiel before this, but I think it's really relevant that I don't forget to say this. So on my pathway, because I live in the north end of the city, I drive to try to get to City Hall. I stopped coming down Palm Drive because then I have to do a UE or whatever to get in here. It's not easy, so I go down Cactus, and that's just my route to get here. Christina will know this, who spent many, many years as a code enforcement supervisor. There was a house on Cactus, I think it's 7th or 6th Street, or in between those. 7th, thank you, Tyler knows. And this house was a pet peeve of mine for many, many years. But if you didn't continue doing what you did and bringing it back to us to try to put the pressure on them to get them to clean that up, it would have never happened. Too many times I see in cities where people just give up because it's just too much. You guys did not. Thank you. We have the city council kind of coming behind you. We'll have to do like a prom picture. You guys have to go sideways.
Can you guys kind of scoot in? One, two, three. Can I have you? Because you're over here. Can I have you better right here?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, looking so good back there.
And more scooting.
Scoot me that way.
I feel like HR is watching really close.
Miss Pine, I can't see you.
Can you stand up higher?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And we'll be on recess till 6 o'clock.
It was good. The guardians of our city.
We still have 1 minute. I adopted a cat, so I had to show everybody. And I was a dog person, but we lost our dog, so now we're, they're trying to talk me into it. I just adopted a cat. We're close. We're this close to a dog, too. Actually, the day I took a tour down there, I almost took home 3. Just kidding. Talking to my wife. She's watching. It is 6 o'clock, so we're going to get started. This is the City of Desert Hot Springs regular meeting of the City Council. The City Council serving as the successor agency to the former Redevelopment Agency Board for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. This is our 6 p.m. regular session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pitts. Present. Councilmember Pai.
Present.
Councilmember Voss.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner.
Present.
And Mayor Mattis.
Present. Today we are honored to have for our invocation Dr. Jerry E. Johnson Sr. He is from the Lily of the Valley Worship Center and probably the most entertaining pastor I know. I've been to a couple events there, and if you want him to dance, talk about Jesus. Pastor, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Heavenly Father, gracious God, Almighty Creator, we come before you today with humble hearts, seeking your wisdom and guidance as we gather to make decisions for our community. Grant us clarity of thought, fairness in judgment, and compassion in our action. May we work together in unity, setting aside personal differences to serve the greater good. Bless this meeting and the people we represent, and may our efforts bring peace, progress, and prosperity to all. Thank you for bringing us together as stewards of this community. Help us to listen with open minds and speak with respect and kindness. May our collaboration reflect the values of justice, equality, and care for all. Bless our city, its leaders, and its residents. And may our work today honor the trust placed in us. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve our community. May our efforts today sow seeds of hope and progress for future generations. As we begin this meeting, we ask for strength to face challenges with courage and integrity. Help us to act with honesty and humility, always keeping the well-being of others at the forefront of our decision. Amen.
Everybody, please rise. Mr. Pitts, would you lead us in the pledge? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll move to the city attorney's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have no reportable action.
All right, thank you very much. The approval of the agenda. At this time, the city council may amend the order of the agenda, approve the consent calendar, remove items from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action, and add urgency items. Does anyone need anything pulled from the consent calendar? Do we have any public comments on the consent calendar? And just to clarify, if you are here for any items that start at, get my fingers to work here, item 10 through 14. This would be the time to come forth. I see no public comments. We will close that item. I have no items pulled. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda and the consent calendar. There's a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Gardner. Is there a second? Second. There's a second by Mr. Voss. City clerk will get ready in a second. We're resetting our technology. You want to do a voice vote?
Councilmember Pitts. Aye. Councilmember Pai.
Aye.
Councilmember Voss.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner.
Aye.
Mayor Mattis.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. With the public comments, if you're here to make public comments on any items that are not on the agenda, there's a blue card back there that you can fill out and give to the city clerk. He's the guy that's running around here back and forth. At this time, pursuant to the Brown Act, any person may comment on matters of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council, not listed on the agenda. Under the Brown Act, the City Council shall not take action on or discuss matters raised during public comment portion of the agenda that are not listed on the agenda. All comments are to be directed to the City Council and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain professional, courteous decorum during their public comments. Your timer will be on the screen above you. You will have 3 minutes once you come to the podium and state your name. Our first comment will be Sandra Munoz.
Hi, sorry for my appearance. My name is Sandra Munoz. I'm homeless in Desert Hot Springs. Thank you for listening to me tonight. Again, I'm here about the stoplight at Palman Park. I know that there's all these surveys that have to be done. It's a real hazardous area. We've got a public library there, we've got mental health there, we've got a soccer park and a middle school right down there, plus a hotel. And if you look, coming up the Southway, people that are using the turn lane that is used in front of Aqua Soleil, that's actually not a turn lane, it's actually shut off with double yellow lines. So they're making unsafe U-turns. I don't know what the holdup is for the stoplight down there. Like I said, I've been here 5 years, and I remember council talked about it about 5 years ago and haven't seen anything. Flood control. We've got to do something about flood control. This last storm was only 30 minutes long, folks. That water was still subsiding for 2 days on the lower part of Desert Hot Springs. It uprooted a whole bunch of stuff. There was sidewalks that they had just packed dirt in there, and it was completely gone. It was pretty hazardous. I don't know if any of you have had the honor or dishonor of walking in a rainstorm or after the rainstorm. I was able to walk through it with trash bags. Thank God from the library is little things to protect my backpack, and then as a raincoat. I mean, you know, we got to get the roads done. I don't know what the hacienda holdup is. There's now an open trench that's about this deep that says open trench, and it's people coming out of Stater Brothers. They've got this big open trench that's at least 4 foot wide that they're going to run into. What's the holdup on the hacienda project? Also, SWAG. They've been with us, I think, a year now. It was October 1st of last year that they took over. Do we have a report on how many have succeeded or, you know, successfully did their program? And I think that's about it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sandra. Patrick Gagosian, was I even close? Yes. All right, sir, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, hello. My name is Patrick Gugasian, and I want to share with you the updates I've done on my home at 9044 Calle de Vecinos. During the 6 months that I was allowed to live at my home, I was able to make the beautiful transformations you see in the attached photos. I've been collecting these plants for 5 years, ever since I bought the lot, and I've curated these plants to make it as beautiful as possible for everyone. And because my home is a small manufactured home, tucked away 200 feet from the street, landscaping is one of the few options I have at enhancing the look of my house, as I've done. Today, I'm waiting for a metal strap for my outdoor propane tank, which I've ordered. It's a new orderance and it's easy, so I ordered it. And after this strap is installed, my home will be ready and safe for me to reside back in. My home is built to the highest standards of compliance because it's built in 2023. It even has indoor fire sprinklers and every other new implemented safety measure. My home has passed every major inspection. And a little bit more about me. Currently, I'm a nursing student. I am 1 month away from graduating and 2 months away from my state licensure exam. I've attached a letter from the dean of my school confirming my academic excellence and my very high likelihood of passing my board exam. So this was supposed to be an exciting time for me, but things happened, and right now I have my life has been turned upside down since I haven't been home. I am very worried about my dogs. They are boarded in Los Angeles and they're being sedated round the clock. I'm also worried that my plants are slowly dying, and if you can see the photos, you can tell that I'm very dedicated to that. And I'm unable to study. I don't have time to study between driving back and forth just to water my plants and go back and sit on my friend's couch. I'm asking only to have a roof over my head, which I already have, and I'm spending $2,000 a month on that roof, and all the while working so hard for my home. And the last steps that I need to finalize my house are very light, they're very low volumed and inconspicuous. My home is not wedged between two other homes with constant construction noise happening. My home is the last home in town. I'm of bother to nobody. I don't do drugs. I never had any run-ins with the law. And we've known each other for 5 years. And you know I'm a respectable guy. And you've seen firsthand my dedication to my home and my garden. So I don't want to be in a situation where I'm homeless because I haven't built a sidewalk. And you know, the other item that I need time with is the driveway, which
Patrick, your 3 minutes are up, but if you want to, I'll give you 15 more seconds if you can wrap up your thoughts.
Yes, thank you. I've also, in compliance with the desire with the demand of having a garage, I've completely gone away with having a deck, and I've also I included information that I was scammed last year by $43,000 by my lender, and because I was scammed, I had to sell my house and use the money to finish the house up there. So I really had no place to go, and I lived there for 6 months, and I did beautiful transformations as you see in the photos, and I will soon be a nurse. And I'm going to have to cut you off here, but so Patrick did, just so the public knows, I'll put some information for us to read, and we'll consume this and get back with our city manager. Yes, thank you very much. And I've included some other photos and some documents. I've included proof that I was scammed and proof that I'm working to build the garage and the other measures that are needed. Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time. Thank you for coming up and letting us know. Last speaker card is Irene Rodriguez. If anyone else would like to speak to in public comments, there's a blue card up there that you can fill out and give to Gerald there, and he'll let you get you on the.
My name is Irene Rodriguez. I'm a citizen, resident of Coachella, and the executive director here at Cabot's Pueblo Museum. Go to the next slide. So I just wanted to let you know that on September 13, we participated with California Preservation Foundation, which they have doors open for the month of September that involve more than 70 sites throughout the state of California. Both the Rock House with the Desert Hot Springs Historic Society and I participated. I had about 30 people signed up for this, and they came through and enjoyed the Pueblo tours. Next slide. We're starting making a difference, and you see here the numbers. As of last year, we served almost 1,000 students coming through the museum. Our priority is the local elementary schools here in Desert Hot Springs, so that's always a priority. We're going to be serving 14 schools for this academic year. We've been funded through the Palm Springs Unified School District, the Big Horn Cares as of last year, and since 2018, Anderson Children's Foundation has been funding this program. And again, we'll be working with College Corps, which actually assign college students as interns at our site. And this year we have 2 Desert Hot Springs residents actually helping with the program. Next slide. And I want to make sure you guys mark your calendar for Day of the Dead, which will be October the 18th from 10 to 3. We are working with the family here locally in Desert Hot Springs to honor the family members that have passed away. As well, we'll be working with the Senior Center. We'll be working for them to actually build an altar at their site to really recognize any of the loved ones that have passed that were involved with the Senior Center. Next one. And then we will have Yoga Day on Veterans Day. We actually will be free admission for every veterans on that day, and then we'll be able to enjoy Yoga Day as well for a fee. It'll be free for veterans, but anybody else is welcome to participate, and there'll be a fee for that. I actually did sort of Cabot and his art, and I'll be doing with the Historic Society this past Saturday, and we'll actually be able to present this presentation at the Rotary Lunch this Thursday. We talk a little bit about the art, but I do want to share with you a new discovery that happened about 2 weeks ago. So a person contacted me that she had photographs of her grandparents that had worked with Cabot. So that photograph that you see is from the late 1940s, sort of building a home. It's not actually the Pueblo. I don't know where the home is. So she'll be actually sharing those photos with us in the coming months. But the art piece I see next to it is actually done by Cabot. And it's actually that same home that you see through the wagon wheel that's on window, and it's also in the photograph. So I'm really excited to know more about what actually was built here in Desert Hot Springs and what actually Cabot built. So hopefully you'll be able to attend some of our events here at the Cabot Spalding Museum. And thank you.
Thanks, Arian. Last call for public comments. Anyone like to make any public comment on any items not on the agenda? Final call. All right, we're going to close public comments at this time. Move to city manager's report.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. First, I'd like to ask Jeffrey Buckheim, our Administrative Services Director, to provide financial updates to the council.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and council members. These are the financial updates of the General Fund and the Public Safety Fund as of September 30th, 2025. Our revenues for 25-26 were over $2.3 million, which is at 6% of the adopted budget. That the revenues that this time last year was over $4 million, which is 11% of the budget, and revenues and 2 years ago was at $2.6 million, was at 8% of the amended budget. The revenues for this fiscal year are a little lower because actually we haven't finished processing all the cannabis tax revenues, which were the ones for from August, which were due by September 30th. With staffing, we were a little behind on that, so we're going to get those processed in. And I think it's probably about an extra $200,000 or $300,000 in there. For expenditures, 25-26 expenditures were $9.6 million, which is 25% of the adopted budget. Last year at this time, the expenditures were $10.3 million, which was at 29%. And 2 years ago, it was over almost $9 million, which was 26% of the amended budget. And that is my report.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Next, I'd like to ask Christina Newsom, our Acting Deputy City Manager, to provide a fun update to the Council on Animal Control.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'm excited to share some great news. Since our last City Council meeting, we've had 7 adorable animals find their forever homes, and 4 others have gone off to rescue. Staff also participated in 3 adoption events where 3 more furry friends were adopted. October is Pit Bull Awareness Month, so we're giving a special shout out to our lovable pit bulls by featuring one as our Animal of the Week throughout the month. We're also throwing an adoption event coined a pity party. The pun is absolutely intended. Join us at Wardman Park on 8th Street on the 25th and 26th of October for lots of fun and same-day adoptions. We'll share more details to the city's social media pages in coming days. Speaking of pit bulls, we have a special guest with us tonight. Meet Purdy. He's a charming male pit bull, just a little over a year old, and he's been with us since February. He enjoys an epic game of fetch and a good cuddle session. You can contact City Hall to fill out an adoption application to give Mr. Purdy his forever home.
He had a lot of fetch today. He was taking a nap.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you, Danielle, for bringing Purdy tonight. That concludes our updates.
Thank you very much. Move to council, mayor and council comments. Mr. Voss.
Sir, thank you. Let's see, on the 17th September, had the Airport Commission meeting, attended that. That was good. And then, let's see, the 18th, attended the DVB, or Desert Valley Builders Association, had a business mixer meeting, and it was the last kind of get-together where Gretchen, the executive director, was moving on to other ventures and moving from the valley there, so it was kind of nice. We did a lot of celebration with that. On the 18th, also attended the Western Growers Producers Association event that they had in Bermuda Dunes. Attended that, and then also on the 18th, that was a busy day. the leadership, Coachella Valley, had a welcome reception for the new group of people that are involved in that program, and they had some that have already been through that and went through that. So then on the 20th, attended the Greater Palm Springs business outreach event they had at the Ace Hotel. That was well attended over there. It was nice. And then on the 2nd, attended the Desert Valley Builders Association monthly meeting, which gave out some informative stuff. And Travis gave a nice presentation on things that we have for what's going on in the city and what have you like that. So that was nice. He did a good job. Thank you, Travis, for what you did for that. And then on the 5th, attended the Jewish Federation of the Desert, held a ceremony honoring those that were held hostage and kind of the attack onto Israel on the 7th of 2023. And it was kind of an honoring thing of those of family members and those that have passed, or those who are actually still held hostage, and those who actually have dual residency as well over there. And that's my report.
Ms. Pye?
No comment.
Wow, Mr. Gardner.
I didn't have time to turn my computer on. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is, if you missed our presentations earlier this evening, it is public or Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week, and I wanted to say thank you to them for all of their hard work, and also kudos to our public works staff for the prompt cleanup of the storm damage from a week and a half ago. Getting the streets clear of sand and rocks washed down in that sudden storm. They were out there doing work the next day, and had a lot of nice comments about how quickly we got stuff cleaned up. I had the honor of giving a welcome address to the Veterans for Peace dinner sponsored by AmVets and Tom Swan Hernandez to commemorate this year's Peace Day. First time their event's been held here in DHS, and I hope it's not the last. And lastly, we had a Visit Greater Palm Springs board meeting. Lots of updates on new marketing campaigns for the entire valley, as well as sobering news on the decline of Canadian tourists projected for this coming season. Advanced bookings are down 8.5% to date, which is high, but less high than other destinations, Las Vegas and Phoenix, where it's down nearly 22-25%. So hopefully we'll get our Canadians back this year, and our tourism season starts right around the corner. So be watching for that. That's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pitts?
All right, mine's going to be quick. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. This is my City Council update for October 7th, 2025. On September 17th, I attended the Short-Term Vacation Rental STVR ad hoc meeting with Mayor Pro Tem Gardner and members of our City Manager's office. It was productive. It was a productive discussion, and we'll share more information in the coming weeks. On September 24th, I participated in the monthly Sunline Transportation meeting. This session was well attended by the public, and as a board, we recognized several employees for their long-term service and dedication to Sunline. On October 4th, I attended my first kitchen table discussion since the program's recent rollout with a local HOA here in District 2. It was a pleasure meeting new neighbors and hearing directly from them. We discussed economic development, public safety improvements, and more. Our community members are seeing positive change with the city's new direction, and they're excited about the progress we're all being made here. These KDRs, or kitchen table discussions, are a more personal, informal way to connect. Unlike traditional town hall meetings, they are small gatherings that foster open conversation, helping neighbors develop neighborhood programs and improve communication for enhanced safety. I encourage those that would like to have that, reach out to me in my office for that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my update.
Thank you very much. And mine's going to be pretty quick. The only meeting I had in the last few weeks since the last council meeting was Coachella Valley Association of Governments met. The executive committee met and talked about quite a few issues, but the most important one was the last issue we talked about, which is funding of our roadways. So as most of you know, I've made many comments about this. The funding for tax revenue comes down through Riverside County Transportation, and then 23% of that comes to Coachella Valley. For the Coachella Valley Association of Governments to divvy up between the projects that are scheduled and priority. The biggest project that's scheduled right now is the Monroe interchange. And just to put in perspective, which I've done in the past, when I first was elected, we moved quickly to make sure that funding was available for the Indian Canyon, Palm Drive, and Date Palm interchanges. And that was under $100 million to do all three of them. The initial engineering about 5 years ago on Monroe was somewhere in the vicinity of about $75 million. And today's it's $127 million. So the rising cost, prevailing wage, and all kinds of other factors have risen the cost so much that it's almost out of touch for Coachella Valley Association of Governments to fund. And this is a discussion, countywide, if not statewide, on projects. Riverside County Transportation will only fund projects that can be estimated at something that was obtainable, meaning they can go out for a bond or they can find funding for it through the state tax revenues or find some grants. And the projects get smaller and smaller. So when they were doing fast track lanes and other type of freeway construction, the projects were at one point this large and now they're this large. And this is what's happening in Coachella Valley. So the discussion's starting now on how to fund these projects in the future, or do we not fund these projects and it becomes a city issue. I don't think that's fair, as we've all participated over time. 75% of the funding comes from the Coachella Valley Association of Governments, and then the agencies have to pay 25%. And when it comes to an interchange, that's divvied up on use. So at one point when they rebuilt, I want to say Jackson, wasn't Jackson, what's the other J that started? Jefferson. When they built that, we, the city of Desert Hot Springs, had to put in, I think it was $250,000, because of our use from the residents of City of Desert Hot Springs do travel as far as Indio, and there was a formula for that. But what this means for the Coachella Valley is that there might be a discussion on either how do we fund it in the future, or do we change our policies as the 9 cities plus Blythe and the county and the tribes on just funding major arterials throughout the Coachella Valley and not funding overpasses. Even the arterials are costing money, but they're a lot more reasonable when you go out to try to figure out how you're going to fund that and build that. So discussion started. It's going to be some decision making pretty soon on this, and so it keeps us thinking. And I'd like the council's input eventually on this, on how you'd like me to proceed. But we've had a lot of discussion on what we'd like to see in and around our community, but it might not be obtainable anymore. So that said, that was the main discussion at CVAC. Did I miss anything, Doria? I don't think so. That was the main discussion, right? All right. We're going to move on to the city business. And we're going to start with public hearings. Item number 3 is the general plan amendment, GPA 25-2, mid-cycle, 6th cycle housing element update. Mr. Clark.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. This item is an update to the city's housing element of the general plan. The state requires the element to be updated on an 8-year cycle, and we are currently in the 6th cycle, which runs from 2021 to 2029. This update is not required, but is being made as part of a settlement agreement. As you'll remember, the city was allocated 3,873 housing units in this cycle as part of the regional housing needs allocation, of which 1,104 are designated as affordable. So some highlights in this mid-cycle update is the construction progress. To date, 718 units have been permitted in this cycle, or about 18.5% arena, and that number is about 30 more than when I made this last presentation at the Planning Commission, so they're still coming in. 227 units have been permitted so far in 2025, already exceeding 2024, and this is the best numbers that we've had since the COVID slowdown. ADU construction still remain popular. Over 451 affordable housing units have been entitled. These developers are currently working on financing for those projects. The update also reports on implementation of the housing program. Highlights include a comprehensive update of the zoning code to facilitate housing and reduce barriers, development of the pre-approved ADU program, revamping the housing website to make housing information more easily to find on our website, and partnering with the county on the home ownership and home improvement programs. These are a couple of stats that I was able to get from the county on the first-time home buyer program. 13 households assisted on home enhancement program, 8 households, and 339 families assisted through the Housing Choice program. This is a screenshot of our revamped housing website that provides information, brochures, guidance, and other materials about housing in both English and Spanish. One thing I wanted to note is the change in the site's inventory. The site for the Park Lane homes was not in the original site inventory. By including it, we are able to move some of the units assigned to other parcels to this site, including 61 units from Camino Campanero. You recall that was a general plan amendment that allowed us to move units, and then also 106 units from nearby Palm Drive frontage parcels, which have a better use as commercial. With that said, staff and the Planning Commission recommend that the City Council approve the general plan amendment, GPA 25-2, to update the housing element and find the project category exempt per SEQA from sections 15061B3. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and our consultant, Nicole Christ, who worked very hard on the update, is here with us as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there any questions from the City Council for staff before I open the public hearing?
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think the county will allow ADUs as part of this housing? They don't recognize it now.
I don't know. Nicole, do you know? Certainly a lot of tiny homes going into the county. So.
Frankly, they have no choice. It's state law. It's not, the county needs to implement it. If they're not doing it effectively, the county has an issue they need to resolve.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pye triggered one on me too. An ADU, if we're counting ADUs as part of the houses required under the housing element, if somebody were to convert a garage, can you convert a garage into an ADU and have it count?
Yes.
Okay. I had a neighbor was asking if they could convert their garage to an ADU, and I just triggered if it would count on our arena numbers. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, we'll open the public hearing at this time. We'll take testimony in favor, opposed, or neutral position. Would anybody like to speak to this item? Final call. I will close the public hearing at this time, and if there's no more discussion, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we adopt the general plan amendment, mid-cycle, six-cycle housing element update.
I have a motion by Mr. Garner, second by Mr. Voss.
Yep.
Please vote. Or are we going to do a voice vote still? Is it working now?
It should be. No.
It's not coming up.
Councilmember Pitts?
Aye.
Councilmember Pye?
Aye.
Councilmember Voss?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Gardner?
Aye.
Mayor Mattis?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And I think it just finally came up on our screen. So. All right. Gerald, are we doing this next one? Annexation number 50?
No.
Okay.
Actually, if we can open the...
Yeah, we'll get it to open, but we can't. All right, so we're going to start this item, and I'll explain what's happening here. Item number 4 is annexation number 50 to the City of Desert Hot Springs Community Facilities District number 2010-1 services for APN 666-370-032, located north of 20th Street and west of Little Morongo. Do we want to go through the full staff report and open the public hearing, or do we want to wait? We didn't receive a ballot for this, so we're going to have to continue it to the next meeting, but did you want to give a full report on this first?
I can if you'd like, or we could wait. Basically, all this is also known as the Amazon property. We're just annexing into, as part of the development agreement with the developer, annexing into Community Facilities District 2010-1 for the purpose of levying a special tax on approximately 94.91 acres of land in order to provide funding for landscaping and lighting maintenance services.
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan.
Mr. Mayor, can I just add something too? Our
Yes.
consultants right here, they actually reached out to the developer who actually was in charge of the project, but since the property is now owned by Amazon, the corporate office has to sign the ballot. So it's been a little bit of a difficult task to get, but we have been in contact with the developer to get the Amazon representative to actually sign the ballot. That's why we didn't receive it today.
Perfect. Does that prompt any questions from council before we continue this? I'm going to open the public hearing at this time and ask that the council approve that we continue this to, will it be ready do we need a certain date? Or just continue it to the next meeting?
If it would be the next meeting, whatever the date of the
What's the
next
date?
regular
October
scheduled meeting.
21st.
All right,
The
we'll
21st.
continue it. Do we need a motion to continue it?
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to continue it to October 21st? There's a motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second? There's a second by Mr. Pitts. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, we will do the next one though, right?
Yes.
Yes. Annexation number 51 to the City of Hot Springs Community Facilities District number 2010-1 services for APN 660-160-029 located west of Palm Drive and north of Paul Road. Mr. Buckeye.
Yes, thank you. This is a public hearing to annex a property known as the Maverick property into the Community Facilities District 2010-1 as agreed upon by the development agreement. The purpose is to levy special taxes on approximately 3.9 acres of land for in order to provide funding for landscaping and lighting maintenance services.
Is there any questions to staff before I open the public hearing? I see none. I'm going to open the public hearing now and take testimony in favor, opposed, or neutral position. Would anybody like to make any comments on this? I see nobody coming forth. We're going to close the public hearing at this time. Is there any other questions of staff? All right, there's a recommendation to adopt the resolution calling for election. Is there a motion? There's a motion by Mayor Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Voss. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
We will now hold the election and canvass the election. Mr. City Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The property owner has voted in favor.
Thank you. Now that the property owner has voted in favor, will the council, someone make a motion to adopt the resolution declaring the election results? Mayor Pro Tem moved. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Pye. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Move to item number 6, creating a special tax area 56 for the property, also known as Amazon.com Services LLC, for APN 660-370-390 located west of Little Morongo Road, north of 20th Street, to the Desert Hot Springs Public Safety Tax Area. Mr. Buckeye.
Yes, so this is as part of the development agreement. We're holding the public hearing to annex the property, Amazon property, into the Desert Hot Springs Special Public Safety Tax Area for the purpose of levying special taxes in order to help fund public safety services.
Is there any questions to staff before we open the public hearing? All right, we'll open the public hearing and I'll ask the council to continue this till October 21st. Is there a motion? There's a motion by Mr. Mayor Pro Tem and seconded by Ms. Pye. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 7 is creating a special tax area 57 for property TKC Desert Hot Springs LLC for APN 660-160-029 located west of Palm Drive, north of Paul Road to the Desert Hot Springs Special Public Safety Tax Area. Mr. Buckheim?
Thank you. So as also per development agreement, this public hearing is to annex the property known as the Maverick property into the special public safety tax area in order to levy a special tax or the parcel tax to help fund public safety services.
Is there any questions to staff? Open the public hearing at this time. We'll take testimony. Does anybody like to speak on this item? See nobody coming forth. We're going to close the public hearing at this time. And any other city council discussion? All right, we'll hold the election, canvass the election at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The property owner has voted in favor.
Would anybody like to make a motion to adopt the ordinance establishing a special public safety tax area for Zone 57? Moved by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Pye. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, move to the administrative calendar. Item number 8, the resolution to waive animal adoption fees. Tyler.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Today I bring a resolution that aligns with our strategic plan area focus number 9. The City of Desert Hot Springs recognizes the ongoing capacity challenges faced by the animal shelters in Southern California, including those that residents within the city. High occupancy rates of shelters have created the urgent need to promote animal adoption and reduce overcrowding by encouraging responsible pet ownership. The City of Desert Hot Springs supports humane and sustainable animal care practices and desires to facilitate pet adoption opportunities for its residents and surrounding communities. The city seeks to authorize the city manager to offer a reduced or no-cost adoption fee as deemed appropriate to facilitate and encourage adoptions during capacity challenges. The city's intention is to host a minimum of 1 adoption event per month over a 12-month period in collaboration with local animal shelters and animal welfare organizations. The city staff has determined that the proposed adoption fee reduction will encourage public participation and encourage adoptions. This is part of our efforts to reach our area of focus number 9 of the strategic plan. That'll conclude our.
Thank you, sir. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. At this time, we'll open a public hearing. We'll open public comment. Would anybody like to speak on this item? If nobody coming forth, we'll close public comments. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this permanent or temporary?
No, this will be over a 12-month period.
And then?
And then if we want to continue, we'll bring it back for another resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion to adopt the resolution by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second? There's a second by Mr. Pitts. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll move to item number 9, award contract agreement for the Eagles Sports Park Street Improvements Project 4020. Mr. Porras.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This item is regarding the Eagle Sports Park Street Improvement Project. Quick summary, the project is located along the street frontage of the future Eagle Sports Park, which is along Hacienda, Flora, and Choya Drive. The scope of work of this project includes the installation of new curb and gutter, new sidewalk, base material and asphalt concrete for the roadway widening, Here's an aerial showing the exact location. This is where currently we have our city's corporate yard and city's animal care and control as well. This area currently has no improvements. This project will install improvements along the northeast and south side of all the streets. Here's an overlay of the plans. This project will also connect to the improvements that are currently being constructed as part of the Hacienda Phase 1, which will then finish off the entire project all the way up to Choya Drive. The city issued a notice inviting bids on August 21st, 2025, and on September 15th, we held a bid opening where the city received and opened 7 bids from 7 different contractors. The bids are ranging between $1.6 million to $2.2 million. Staff reviewed the bids and verified all submittals and determined that the lowest responsible bidder to be Onyx Paving Company in the amount of $1,617,000. Staff verified references and found Onyx to meet the necessary qualifications. The city has previously contracted with Onyx Paving for about 4 projects in the last 5 years, and we have had positive results in all the projects. Therefore, we have no issues with any of their workmanship or their contracting. This project achieves 2 of the city's strategic goals. Goal number 7 for community parks, which it will provide upgrades to infrastructure for the build out of parks in the parks master plan, which is the future Eagle Sports Park. And goal number 10 of the street road infrastructure, which is an intense focus on fiscal and operation needs to ensure the city can meet growing demands for the community by maintaining existing street roads and infrastructure while planning for long-term growth and development. Again, these improvements will be necessary for the construction of the Eagle Sports Park. If we were to award on the apparent lowest bidder, the subtotal would be $1,778,700. Part of the approval is a construction management authorization for the project budget for as-needed inspection service estimated at $50,000 and as-needed material testing of $20,000, which bring the total project budget to $1,848,700.00. The funding of this project is through Measure A, $100,000, SB1, $500,000, and DIF Streets, $1,248,700, which brings the total project budget to $1,848,700. Staff is recommending that City Council award a construction agreement for the Eagle Sports Park Street Improvement Project, project number 4020, to the lowest responsive qualified bidder, which is Onyx Paving Company, Inc. And 2, authorize the city manager to draft and execute the construction agreement for the Eagle Sports Park project, city project number 4020, with Onyx Paving Company in an amount not to exceed $1,617,000.00 with a 10% contingency of $161,700.00, bringing the total amount of $1,778,700.00 and approve a total project budget in the amount of $1,848,700.00 for additional project expenses and construction management. That concludes my staff report, and I'm glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Garner.
Just one quick question, Danny. In looking over the bids, there's a big gap between our lowest bidder and the rest of them. And we've seen the work that Onyx has done in the past, and they've done a good job. It's just that such a big gap. And I'm thinking back to 2018 when we took a low bid for repavement of Palm Drive and had to redo it all because it was too low. I don't want us to run into that again. Can you just give us some comfort level that this isn't too low?
Yeah, so we also reviewed that. It's about $300,000 difference between the contractors. In your actual package, you'll see the bid results. It's kind of small to see if you print it out, but we actually compared all of the line items. Their mobilization cost was lower than all of them by about $50,000. Their concrete costs were lower by unit costs than all of them as well, and then their asphalt cost was also lower. When we actually talked to them, they do have a smaller crew where their overhead is most likely lower, therefore their entire cost goes lower. Now, they were the contractor who did Palm North, which is from Pearson to Mission Lakes Boulevard. We had no issues with their
Yeah.
paving, no issues with their concrete work and their workmanship, and they're very, very easy to work with. So we didn't see any issues or any errors in the actual bid proposal from them.
We just lucked out that it's that low.
Yes.
All right. I'll make a motion, so.
Is there any other comments? I'll accept the motion. Oh, did we open up, did anybody want to make any public comments? Close public comments, go ahead. Moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by Mr. Ross. Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, we have no items pulled from the consent calendar. Is there any public comments if anyone didn't get to speak at the beginning of the meeting that would like to speak now to the city council on non-agenda items? All right, we'll move, before we adjourn, the Public Safety Commission will meet on October 9th, the Planning Commission on the 14th. What, did I miss something? That's a consent. Okay, sorry. Phew, thought I missed something. And the City Council will meet on October 21st. With that said, we're adjourned.